Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another, I suppose it could be called, an evening with Bob. Bob's just turned up. I've cleaned the bench off. He's going to come in, and I'm not quite sure what he's going to talk about. I know he's going to do a bit more on that DTI with the bench spindle, and then whatever, we'll see what happens. How are you, Bob?
Hello, John. How do you do?
Not bad, mate.
Nice to hear you.
I saw it half clean here.
Half clean. It is half clean, mine. I'll give that a wipe.
You want some brake cleaner?
No, that's some there.
It's got mess in it.
No, it doesn't matter. Thanks, everybody. Right, we're back onto this DTI, the large one, which had the bent spindle. Now, if you remember, sorry there's been a delay, but we've had family problems. I've cut the bent bit off, that bit there, put it on the thing so you can see it. Courtesy of my friend Peter, who gave me a load of silver steel, I had a piece of silver steel, the right diameter. Now I did what I said I was going to do, clock that in the bottom part of the spindle, before jaw chuck, drilled it and tapped it, M3, did the top half and drilled both sides, tapped M3, so the screw for the cap, and that one's M3, and the screw on the rod in there is M3, about 8mm deep on each one, and then I used bearing fit, Loctite, which is the really strong stuff. So now, if you can keep it in camera, it goes up and down like it's supposed to. Now, if this end had been clattered, if this end what got bent, like as you said before, this gauge would be just scrap. But because it was the top just a guide. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try, if I can remember, famous last words, to put this thing back together again. So here we go. What's the movement? I've cleaned the movement, obviously down home. Now the most important part of any DTI, I've lost my little indicator, is that little hairspring. There's a hairspring in there. Now you must pre-tension that. What I mean by pre-tension it, sorry, I'll put the hand on and wind it up, so you, because it's a big dial, you only need to put like, it's easy if I take that hand off because I'm used to doing that, about half a turn just to put pre-tension on the movement. Right, so now once you put pre-tension in, that's the rack, the little cog in there, the pinion I should say, not the rack, and the rack's got a on there. So basically you put the movement in, keep tension on and lock it in to the rack and get the two screws. That's one, that's two. Oh, do forgive me for all fingers and thumbs and all that sort of stuff, but when a camera gets involved, as John says, put that on, it's just locked temporary. Or the other one. In, push that over, so that's where them two washers should be, and obviously it won't move because I've jammed it, because I moved it that far over. So out the way, undo them screws a little bit, turn it away from the rack, just enough. Right. Now if I've turned it away too far, I'll tell by the opposite end, which I have, I've turned it off the rack. It's not actually engaged. Oh, yeah. It's a bit of a fiddle. Well, it's like that. See the movement going in and out like that? Right, I'll tighten them 2 screws up to lock it into place. Now what I've told you all before in the past, if it doesn't go up and down, that sounds horrible by the way, there's something wrong. In this case it's too tight. It's engaging too far onto the rack. So just slacken it off. Just a tweak. Flip it up. Right, no, still not right. We'll get there. Sorry, I'm not on camera. Again, like everything else, it's feel here. There we go. Now we have a problem because there isn't any tension on that spring. Oh, we've got it right, but it's wrong. We've got to undo it again. Put a bit of tension on. Let that rack come down. Tighten it up. See, too tight, jammed. Tighten it up. There we go. Make sure that's engaged and going round. Yep, got tension on. Oh, see that in the camera, it's going up and down. Right, if you don't believe me, put the hand on. Da, 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 da. Oh, don't catch it. Whee, look. Whee. Right, that's that bit done. So now we're going to put the faces back on, which is these bits here. One there, and one there. Now, there's a spring, this little copper thing here, looks like a star. Sorry, my fingers is in the way. Stars go up over. And it goes on that little boss there. And this goes on. Oh, I will clean it off camera. Right, give it a clean. Goes on that there. That goes on there. The centre boss is higher, so it's got something like to locate onto. Oh, get my little needle, my little pointer. Oh. Oh, I'll just put the pointer on rough when I can get it on. I'll put pre-tension on, say half of that. Make sure that pushed down, because you don't want it to come off. And your main needle, which is this one here, it's about 1/4 to. Right? So if you imagine that's in and you want 0 top or just after top, right? So it's nowhere near, so take it off, move it around a bit. No, it wants to come round the other way, sorry, gone the wrong way. So, that'll do for me. Make sure it's pushed on. Now, the main dial, which is this one here, right? Now, normally I take the perspex lens out. I'm not going to do it on this big one because it's got a crack in it, and I can't replace that lens. Tried always. I make the little ones sort of, but the big ones I have no luck with. So basically, put there. Now there's an indexing mark where the main screen needs to go. And make sure it's in where it's supposed to go. Like so. Like that, right? Then slide it over the main hand. Well, it won't go on because yours truly didn't take all the screws out. I left the screw in. But will it go on? Oh, no, sorry. It makes us a liar. And we make sure that it moves. Right. Now I need my little screwdriver. Right. And if you remember, there's a hole there. Underneath that hole, I'll find it somewhere. There it is. It's a screw hole. One of the little screws. Put in the hole. Screw it in. Turn it round to find the other screw hole. Sorry if you're not in camera. There's the other screw hole. Find the other screw. No, it should be in there. There it is. Sorry if my mince is not in the place where it's supposed to be. But that goes into there. And the screwdriver's magnetic. Ta-da! Right, there we go. So if I set that up there, out there, preload. Now in real life, I see people doing this, but now a DTI doesn't move that fast. It only moves slowly. Right, so that's that. Put the back on. 3 screws. So screwdriver. 1. 2. Sorry, 4 screws. 3. 4. Take them all down. All done and dusted. There we go. Now considering it was broken, it now works. Ta-da! So there we go, one big DTI repaired.
Right, I don't cover off.
Right,